chat. Alright.
Alright.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Woke Wednesday, where we go over everything to do wrong with the West. So, as everybody knows, we did have some news to talk about too.
Did you get the thing?
What thing?
The bag donut.
Yes.
I don't know if they're gonna be able to see anything.
So yesterday we went and had an ultrasound done on the baby. So we have a few pictures. If you watch our channels, you'll see the pictures in
You have to look in the tiny bubble.
that. But look at. Nope, wrong way. Oh.
Very active.
Yes.
Looked like a great alien. Fully formed brain, which is really quick way to say it. 2 hemispheres of the brain.
That's one.
We're at 14 weeks and 3 days.
So you were spot on your call. I mean, like what, 2 days off?
Yeah, and that's if they got the right measurements. So.
Yeah.
So my predicted due date was the 11th, and theirs is the 10th.
Wasn't one the 12th too?
Yeah, the first one that they did, just based on estimation, was on the 12th.
And then off of bone size, it was the
10th.
The 10th.
2 days earlier. I mean,
so expect right around that time period.
it sucks because that's winter. That's going to be Scorpio.
So, and sorry if we won't run late with these ones in the next couple weeks. You know, it's a very, very busy month for us, with Guru graduating 8th grade this month and going on to high school next year. There's been trips galore. We've got another one coming up to Universal Studios, which daughter of Otten and myself are going to go on also.
It'll be like a birthday thing.
Yeah, we're going to go and have some fun. So I'm sure you guys will get clips and videos from there. Body cam will be on one of us.
Yeah, I got to remove all the rest of that stuff still from the last trip.
Yeah, I know. And we're running out of time. A week. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any more, let's get to it. Let's see what kind of woke crap we have this time.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It. And I think we're ready to hear more pronouns and expressions of gender identity. Are you homo-flexible? Perhaps you're pan or trixic? No, I don't know what any of these words mean either.
Hi, my name's Queenie and my pronouns are they, them. When I post about my gender identity and my sexuality, when I say that I don't want any labels, that is not an invitation for you to speculate on who I am or what I am. It's not a guessing game for you to play over whether I'm a girl or a boy, about what's in my pants, or if I'm pan or bi or trixic or homo-flexible or gray romantic or anything else. You don't need to fully understand the nuances of gender identity or sexuality to know that each person knows who they are better than you ever will.
Yes, there are new identities and pronouns popping up every hour, it seems, but how many things can you identify as at the same time? See if you can beat this millennial list.
Oh God,
I am a white, transmasculine, femme, non-binary, temporarily mostly able-bodied, neurodivergent, obsessive-compulsive, chronically ill, culturally Jewish, Unitarian Universalist, non-monogamous, demi-low romantic, gray demi-bisexual, survivor of acute and complex trauma, millennial, and cat parent in mental health recovery.
Demi-low romantic, chronically ill Unitarian Universalist, transmasculine, I've lost track already. Let's hear now from a lefty who's been losing it for some time now. One time Oscar nominee when she was known as Ellen Page, star of the hit film Juno, but she has since transitioned to Elliot Page, an enthusiastic trans activist who claims that being LGBTQIA+++ is not niche.
Often called like niche, queer things niche. 30% of young people identify as LGBTQ+, so I'm like, I'm sorry, this is not niche. You tell really specific stories about like cis-het people. I'm not calling that on the plot niche. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure I read a good book about that by Abigail Schreier, Irreversible Damage, the Transgender Craze Seducing Our Daughters. But Paige is right. there are a lot of young people identifying as anything other than just an ordinary girl or boy. I mean, who wants to be ordinary? I'm reminded of this classic clip from a Washington, D.C. Pride rally in 22 where journalist Savannah Hernandez asked people how they identify.
I am genderqueer, transmasc, and queer.
What's transmasc?
Transmasc is like people under the non-binary umbrella identifying like or presenting masc.
Masculine?
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm trans and my sexuality is unlabeled. I use he/him pronouns. Yeah, and I use he/they pronouns.
Tell us what you guys identify as. We're asking everyone here today.
Gay, cis, what is it? Cisgender male. There we go.
I don't know. Gender neutral or gender fluid. I think that's what they said. I don't know. I'm confused.
We're all confused, lady. Let's see if there is any more clarity with some others at the rally.
She, her, they.
She.
Pronouns are he, him. Sometimes use they. I don't give a.
I guess you could call me gay. I'm homo-flexible, really. I do like some women, but mostly men.
She, her, it. I feel like, honestly, it should not be a bad pain. Like, I've talked to people who go with they and them. I'm like, well, in the grammar of things, how would you want to represent yourself? I was like, I mean, I guess it. Because it's like, you're it. You're the it.
I'd be careful before referring to people as it. Not everyone is going to appreciate it, but that was Washington, D.C. It's a strange place. Only 4% voted for Trump. Surely we wouldn't have that sort of confusion in Texas.
They, she. They, he, non-binary, transmasc.
Bisexual? I'm just trans. I'm a gay male pup. Yeah.
Gay male pug?
Yeah.
Transgender, he, him.
So this news source that I go to is from Australia,
Yeah.
and you watch Isaac, who's also from Australia,
Yes.
and I think Taylor is too, but that's irrelevant. Actually, no, it's not, because every one of those people, and I actually think Kadan, and he's based out of Germany, they all know an amazing amount about our politics.
Yeah, they do.
Do you know who the president of Australia is?
No.
Or Mexico?
No.
Or Germany?
Nope.
Yeah, see, so it's like, it's kind of amazing that it's like we have such a front row seat to the rest of the world with our damn politics. So you see, it's
I know.
like so widespread. This is why it's a problem.
Yeah, and like I was talking about earlier, I mean, even with these protests going on now, with the, the colleges, they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guarantee most people from other countries are going to know about it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I can squeeze that into something to do with one of your 7 deadly sins thing.
Yeah.
It's like ignorance for one thing, but...
Oh, yeah, and it's just retarded. I mean, come on.
Are they still doing it?
I'm not entirely sure. I haven't really heard too much more. I'm sure they
I mean,
are.
like I said, is it really going to make another country sit there and be like Israel's going to be like, oh my god, look at all those college students.
I know.
It's like, we have to stop this war now.
I know.
Because they're upset.
I know, these people are upset, man. We can't keep doing this war. It's just not working.
It's just like Vietnam back in the day, you know?
I know. It's like Robert Downey Jr. eye roll.
I'm cis, she, her.
Probably non-binary, yeah, would be the best.
What about you?
Bi. A lesbian. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I like frogs, not people. I'm sorry? I like frogs, not people.
I like frogs too. Now to Democrat stalwart and strategist James Carville losing it over Trump increasing his lead in the latest polls, particularly in those crucial swing states.
In Trump's more ahead than he's ever been. It's going the wrong way. It's not working. Everything that we're throwing is spaghetti at a wall, and none of it is sticking, me included. And it's hard when you start in your 80th year, and you know, like anybody else, I have an opinion of myself, and the opinion I've come to is I don't matter. And
No, I think
you know, we gotta like try to think of something different, because what we're doing is really, really not working.
I don't know. How about trying to formulate policies that don't destroy the country?
Exactly.
It's just really, really not working. That's according to that guy.
That could be an idea about not becoming some sad copy of a banana republic where the ruling party tries to jail their main political rival. How about not being lefties losing it on a daily basis? That might see a bump in Biden's numbers because, things are pretty grim when even CNN can't hide the truth anymore.
Look, these Sunbelt battleground states, frankly, for the Joe Biden campaign, these numbers are an absolute disaster. The smallest lead is in Arizona for Donald Trump. He's up 6. Look at this, 9 in Georgia, 13 in Nevada. My goodness gracious, my God. That is a huge lead. No Democrat has lost that state since John Kerry lost it back in 2004. How about these Great Lake battleground states? This is something that the Joe Biden campaign can work with.
Yes, the Joe Biden team can work with that, but why is Trump doing so well in those Sunbelt states like Nevada, Georgia, and Arizona?
Yeah, this whole Biden and Trump thing is just a disgrace in my eyes. I mean, they're using Joe Biden to no end. He is so senile and not there.
I know. It's like I said, my mom worked in the nursing facility, and all of my life I've known people like that are in the nursing facility. And I don't watch politics and stuff, but this past year we saw a few things where he was like, trying to beef up his campaign trail. And I look at him and it looks like he belongs in a nursing home. He has that same expression, the same movement.
Exactly.
It's really uncanny. I mean, they're using him. That's elder abuse.
That is by far elder abuse. Yes. I mean, anybody else that did it, they'd be going to jail. But yet the government does it, and oh well.
Yeah, they're propping him up and dragging him along.
Yeah.
And I can only think that it's being done on purpose because, all of these things are just like centered around taking down women and the nuclear family, and
exactly.
Their whole administration is behind that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really care who the president is, but just looking at what they're doing to him as like a person, it's like, wow, that's some darks.
That's fucked up.
You're going to love this answer from CNN. The CNN audience probably didn't like it, but you will.
When you're looking into the numbers, why do you think Biden is doing better in the Great Lakes and Trump is doing so much better in the Sun Belt?
Yeah, the Trump coalition is changing. That's basically what's cooking here. This is at least one of the big reasons why. So this is among likely voters in all these battleground states we just spoke about. Back in 2020, 84% of the Trump campaigns of the Trump coalition was white. Look where it is now. It's 78%. The non-white portion of the Trump coalition, it was 13% in 2020. Look at this now. It's 19%. So the Trump coalition is becoming more diverse. And of course, those Sunbelt battleground states are more diverse than the Great Lake battleground states.
You're looking at the Nevadas and the Arizonas here.
Of course, if you look at Nevada, Arizona, heavy Hispanic population, Georgia, heavily African-American population, with the Michigan does have some black voters in it, but Pennsylvania and Wisconsin are heavily, heavily white.
Yes, Trump's non-white vote has jumped around 50%, and the whiter the state, the better Joe Biden is doing. Doesn't that smash the media's tired old narratives? Now to North Carolina, where some lefty students lost it at Duke University's commencement ceremony on Sunday because the guest speaker was Jerry Seinfeld, who has the audacity to be white, male, heterosexual, and even worse, he is a Jew who supports Israel. The lefties couldn't handle that. Some of them got up and walked off as the crowd booed. I'm pretty sure the crowd were booing all those lefties who were walking off. But I do wonder what Jerry Seinfeld could have said that would be so objectionable that you couldn't possibly stomach it. You had to get up and walk off and miss a massive milestone in your academic career. This is possibly the most controversial parts of the speech I'm about to play you, and a trigger warning for the crazy people.
Privilege is a word that has taken quite a beating lately. Privilege today seems to be the worst thing you can have. I would like to take a moment to defend it. Again, a lot of you are thinking, I can't believe they invited this guy. Too late. I say, Use your privilege. I grew up a Jewish boy from New York. That is a privilege if you want to be a comedian. My point is we're embarrassed about things we should be proud of and proud of things we should be embarrassed about. So on my staff in the 90s, we had a lot of Harvard guys. They were fantastic, but I could never understand why these guys were so embarrassed about being from Harvard. They would never talk about it. They would never mention it. I'm not talking about Harvard now. I'm talking about the way it used to be. You're never going to believe this. Harvard used to be a great place to go to school.
Joining me now is filmmaker and journalist Ami Horowitz. Ami, President Joe Biden is notorious for repeating lies, verifiable lies, over and over again. And the latest example is the claim that inflation was at 9% when he took office.
I think inflation has gone slightly up. It was at 9% when I came in, and it's now down around 3%. And bringing down inflation, it was 9% when I came to office. 9%.
Inflation was actually 1.4% when Biden was sworn in.
Ami, why does he keep doing these? I mean, these are things you can check. They're not just matters of opinion.
No, it's, well, he was right in the sense that it was 9% a year after he came into office. No, on the inflation issue itself, he's made many, many lies. For example, that inflation was because of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, when a simple math equation shows you that the majority of the inflation actually came prior to the invasion of Ukraine. I mean, we can go on and on. We can talk about how his uncle was eaten by cannibals. Yes, that was something he actually claimed to be a fact. We could talk about he's arrested in Delaware for civil rights violations. And frankly, the worst of all, when he continuously says that his son was killed in Afghanistan, when his son actually tragically died of cancer afterwards. But despicably, he loves to trot that out when he's talking to families who lost kids in wars. He continues to trot out that particular lie. Particularly despicable and terrible. No, but of course, he's never going to be called on it because he's parroting what the mainstream media wants to hear. This one is, again, the issue is the verifiability. If you're going to lie, Joe, lie is something that can't be checked. That would be my suggestion to you, a little gift for you. That's all I'm saying.
It's just incredible. Inflation was once 9%, but during your term, when you inherited office, the inflation was almost at rock bottom. So it's just such a bold-faced lie. US Vice President Kamala Harris, though, she's not doing much better. She's expressing her appreciation for young activists during a recent interview, praising their approach and how they aren't waiting around for the older generation to solve big issues. She highlighted things like their readiness to tackle policies on gun violence and climate change. But Ami, these are strange comments to be making at a time when college campuses are overrun by these young activists disgracing themselves and disgracing these institutions of higher learning.
Yeah, I also, if you recall, I also recently took a tour around a campus with my American flag, and 15 of these great youth people she's referring to attacked me viciously and grabbed my flag. I think she needs to take a look around. Is she praising the people who attacked me? Is she praising the people who won't allow Jews to go to class on campus? She needs to be clear about what she's referring to. And by the way, I think she also needs to take a look at the poll numbers, because the 18 to 29 vote, which overwhelmingly went for Biden and Kamala Harris last election, seems to be eroding significantly, because even then, even the 18 and 29, and by the way, if you know anybody who's under 29, they don't know anything, right? But even those people are smart enough to realize that this country is being driven into the ground, and the responsibility lies directly with this administration, which, by the way, happens to include Kamala Harris. So, I think she needs to recheck her little tour of the campuses, and maybe she'll recant it. I don't know. I doubt it.
Well, a law school in Boston is facing a backlash after graduates smeared red paint on their hands and held them up during their commencement ceremonies. Pro-Palestinian students used this symbol of bloody hands to protest the death toll in Gaza. Army, you know perfectly well what this means. Tell my audience what those red hands symbolize. What event are these graduates glorifying?
Yeah, so there was a lynching in Ramallah a number of years ago where a Jew was murdered and ripped apart by Palestinian animals. And one particular thug, animal beast, took his bloody hands and he put them out the window famously and photographed it. I assume you're referring to that. That is the most disgusting display of savagery that I could imagine. But I think that these students need to pay attention a little more to the news. We've been saying this for a while, but even the United Nations has recanted and finally said, okay, we were lying for a long time about this war in Gaza, and they finally came to terms and reduced the number of civilian casualties by 50.
So there's another one, if it's red hand with a small white hand in between, is talking about like anti-abortion stuff.
Okay.
So it's like, and then also the red hand across the mouth was abducted natives from like the North Dakota area. Like infamously around Sturgis time, there's a bunch of abductions of women and children from the reservations.
Yeah, that's screwed up. But yeah, that one's just.
Yeah, you know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And they don't know. I know. It's like, are you?
Percent, Rita. We all knew those numbers were lies, but everybody kept saying, well, look what the mainstream media is saying. The UN is saying it. And now finally, after the damage has been done to Israel's reputation, they finally came out and said, oh, we got it wrong. Actually, the Israeli numbers were right. And shockingly, Hamas numbers are wrong. Maybe those idiots on that campus, that graduation, to look at the fact that Israel has fought a war, historically low civilian casualties. Two civilians for every one militant, as opposed to, and by the way, and that's when you have the most densely populated place on planet Earth, where Hamas is hiding civilians, using civilians as shields for themselves. And if you compare that to the NATO numbers of Afghanistan, the numbers were...
Okay, yeah, also, I was listening to, what's his name, Ben, today too, on one of his. And he's talking about how they keep talking about, like, there's these kid deaths.
Yeah.
But what they're not saying is that that Hamas are using a lot of kids for militant people.
Yeah, they don't tell you how this is happening.
Yeah, they don't tell you how they die. Like if they were a crossfire, no, or if they're a person firing a gun at an Israel troop.
Right. I mean, they've done that all along. Like Al Qaeda was doing that and everything. They taught 9-year-olds how to shoot, and you know. Like,
so it's like you're getting this statistic of. Well, yeah, there's really high death and Israel's doing so bad, but when in reality, you have to look at everything.
Like it seemed like that there's just like clusters of kids sitting around like playing hopscotch, and the Israelis are coming in and just annihilating them or something, just mowing them down. And it's like that just very rarely happens in war.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It should have left a long time ago.
Yeah. But it's like, for whatever reason, Hamas's numbers are the ones used.
Yeah, isn't that strange?
Yeah.
Isn't that convenient? Isn't that weird? I mean, it's like, okay.
So it's like...
5-1. Maybe those people should look at those numbers and maybe rethink their idiocy on graduation day.
This guy's like passionate.
Now let's talk about Snopes. Snopes, the so-called fact-checking site, has been embarrassed again, having to correct a fact-check about Ashley Biden, the daughter of US President Joe Biden, her diary. The disturbing claims in that diary are now listed as true, not unproven. Army, if this was Ivanka's diary detailing inappropriate showers with her dad and all sorts of other other allegations, we'd never stop hearing about it. This would be well known across the board, but the contents of this diary have been memory hold. So many in the media have declined to report anything about it.
Yeah, the big issue here really is the fact checkers themselves, Snopes and PolitiFact and USA Today like. I think one of the great accomplishments of the left was their ability to take over that entire industry and then brand it as unbiased, right? Above the political fray. And people have taken that and frankly done a great job with branding because regular people look at these organizations, Wikipedia and Snopes and PolitiFact and so forth, as fact. And the reality is so far from that. I can tell you personally, I have had with all of those fact-checking organizations, I have run into issues with them where they have lied baldly about things that I have said. I have forced several of them to recant. But of course, once it's released, the damage is done. And you know when they're lying, when all their mistakes are all in favor of liberals and none of the mistakes are in favor of conservatives. That really is the answer how they're lying. If it was even half-half, I could see how could they didn't make mistakes. But no, what the reality is that what they are, they look at what they want things to be and assume that must be actual fact. Right? They basically have weaponized their bias. And again, it's been a very, very successful branding exercise. And they've sold to the public as you can look at us as unbiased when it couldn't be further from the truth.
Absolutely, and it's so dangerous because it is gaslighting on a mass scale, calling themselves fact checkers when they're often amongst the most biased activists in the industry. Army Horowitz, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Always a pleasure.
Ask yourself, how much free speech do you really have? Cancel culture has a lot of people scared to speak their minds these days. Just look at this girl's horrifying answer to the simple question of how many genders there are.
It's not that difficult.
Alright, so we're going on to a clownfish now. This is the most recent clownfish. So reacting to Gen Z woke cringe is number 15.
The last one was Sky News from Australia.
Yeah, Sky News from Australia is what we just got done watching.
Always stick around to the end for the recap, this week's woke news, and much, much more.
How many genders are there?
I feel like there's two, because like transgender.
They don't count.
Yeah, but I feel like you either switch from a boy to a girl.
No, stop.
Back and forth. Stop.
I feel like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to be, it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, but I feel like they switch back and forth. Like, I know.
Yeah, but like, it doesn't really matter. Like, there's like, you can be anything you want to be. It doesn't matter.
Oh my god, they're gonna lynch us if we say the wrong thing.
That's insane.
I know.
You need to see that movie, 1984.
Yes, I do. I keep seeing stuff about it.
I think they're redoing it now, too.
I wouldn't doubt it. They're redoing a lot.
It's like, I was just thinking of something weird. The guy that played in Saw.
Okay.
Kind of like good for that, you know?
Yeah.
He played in a movie way back in the day in the 70s called Clockwork Orange. And he's just all throughout his career has been just like phenomenal in this kinds of roles, so I can totally see him being like a big brother type, you know. And was it the last and most final law was to make people believe the opposite of what their eyes were seeing or something, you know? And it's like, how is that not happening? It's right there in front of them, and they will freaking deny it.
Oh yeah, they will. They will for sure.
They were like, nope, that didn't happen.
Well, you see who it's showing now, right?
I can't see.
Defoe. William Defoe.
You believe that?
Come on, stop. Okay, I'm sorry.
Now, at first, you might think that she's her friend because she disagrees with her, but it becomes apparent that it's actually because she's looking out for her and scared of all the backlash a simple opinion might generate. When people are this scared of expressing their thoughts, we truly have a dystopia incoming. And speaking of dystopias, check out why.
Okay.
Exactly. And it's like, I mean, really, at this point, what are they going to do to you?
Exactly.
I mean, if you keep going in this direction, they'll kill you publicly, but, you know, like, right now...
Well, look at all the whistleblowers for fucking Boeings.
That's true. I mean, but I'm just saying, it's like, just like on small-scale things. It's
well, exactly.
Like, if you start building that back up, then people will start getting more emboldened
Yeah.
I mean, like, some people used to be willing to die for their convictions or go to jail, and now it's like they don't even want
Now
to
they
be
won't. Yeah.
canceled.
No, exactly. You need to. That's why I will always be here with the truth, no matter the situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're not even monetized, so
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Come after us.
And if they shut you down here, then they just find another avenue.
Yeah, we'll be back up. If somebody shuts me down, I'll be back.
It's like I was a little bit worried because we don't usually cover politics like that, but it looks like we made it through so far. So.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Seattle Public School believes the love of reading and writing is a form of white supremacy.
In case you missed it, students in the Seattle Public School are told that the love of reading and writing is white supremacy. This happened in a world literature and composition class at Lincoln High School. Students were given a handout with definitions of the 9 characteristics of white supremacy. Among the examples is worship of the written word. It's wrong to value written communication because it's a form of honoring only what is written, and even then only what is.
Yeah, what were you saying?
I says that I guess I'm as white as they come because it's like, yeah, the written word to me is like most important in our religion. So
yeah.
You know, it's like witness and write everything down.
Yes.
Written to a narrow standard, full of misinformation and lies. Misinformation. The worksheet labels objectivity, individualism, and perfectionism as white supremacy. If students deny their own racism or that any of the 9 characteristics are legitimately racist, is also white supremacy. Whether you realize it or not,
I don't know.
you're racist. Oh, and denialism or being overly defensive is a racist example of entitlement to name what is or isn't racism. Does that? So is this article then racist? I literally can't keep track right now. I'm actually confused.
Now, I'm not sure whether the goal here is to dumb people down, but of all things, if we can't even encourage school children to love reading and writing, then there's really no hope for the next generation. And even mathematics isn't safe from the woke agenda. According to this woman in our next clip, saying 2 + 2 = 4 might actually be racist. Take a watch.
Quickly, so I misunderstand. Are we saying that 2 + 2, if you say it's 4, that's racist? I mean, that sounds like we may be mischaracterizing it. What, if you can quickly sum it up?
No, that's not mischaracterizing it at all. Math is basically racist under this ideology because it says there is no such thing as an objective reality. So 4 might not be the right number. 2 + 2 might actually equal 5.
Now, I just hope none of these morons
So this is how the Common Core shit came to be, I can freaking tell. But it's like they say the only universal language is math. I mean, because it is unchangeable.
Yes, math is math.
And it's like, you know, because you have 2 pebbles in nature, and you have 2 pebbles in nature, you put those together, that is 4, that is not 5.
Yeah.
You know, you can't change that. There's nothing you
Exactly.
can do. Okay, I'm sure that some mathematician out there could probably sit there and talk about breaking the rocks up or some crap, but it's like, it's like, I talk to aliens, okay? that's the only constant throughout the universe is freaking math.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
I'm screwed because I'm not literate in it at all.
I mean, the constants are there. 1 + 1 will always be 2.
It is there in nature.
Yeah.
You know. Well, I mean, unless you're breeding, and then it's like if there's like more than
Well,
one
yeah.
But then, you know, but you get the point. It's like that's the only constant, the only provable fact.
Exactly.
Everything else is an opinion, and the written word can be changed.
Yes.
But math is still the same.
It is.
And I hate it.
to build a bridge with that type of math. But it would seem math isn't nearly as important as teaching inclusion for the next generation. If you want proof, our next clip points out just how many LGBTQ holidays we have nowadays.
Arab trans Americans want to have a day to themselves. Have a day. Have a month. That's what Pride Month's for, right? June? But we discovered trans days take up half the year. They have Transgender Day of Visibility, Transgender Day of Remembrance, Transgender Awareness Week, Trans Awareness Month, Transparent Day, International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia, Pride Month.
Dr. Vaught is looking all this up to make sure that they're accurate on it.
Right.
This is ridiculous.
So, I mean, I've seen, there's like that one channel that I watch. It's an actual, like, it's called Powered by Rainbows.
Yeah.
That's where we found about those flags. And I did watch something where they did have a whole bunch of different holidays and stuff, and it was like 175, I think. So let me double check that.
Wow.
How many Is it just trans that he's saying, or LGBTQ?
There's the LGBTQ plus History Month and Health Awareness Week.
Holidays. I'm not going to go any farther than LGBTQ. Alright. Here we go. Okay. There are many holidays that celebrate the community, including awareness periods, days of remembrance, and other holidays. And here is a whole bunch of them. Please just tell me. There's so many that they don't know.
Wow.
There's a community calendar. Important dates. They have Drag Day, Bisexual Awareness Week, Bisexual Visibility Day.
My God.
There's no definitive answer. But the last I had heard, there was like throughout the year, I think the guy said that there was 175.
That is ridiculous.
Okay, this one just says 35 plus LGBTQ plus awareness days. Yeah. There's okay. This one, okay. This is the one I was saying about Powered by Rainbows. I don't suggest going there. The guy is a freak. It's the one that thought he acts like he says he's part of the puppet
Yeah, I know.
culture. Yeah,
I know.
And it's like he's got this friendly, fat, approachable face, and the shit that they talk about is goddamn evil. 261.
261, ladies and gentlemen. I can show that on the thing, right?
Yeah, because it's not his actual channel, but...
Should be right there. 261.
Rainbow holidays.
Yes.
Boiled in oil. Go ahead.
LGBTQ History Month, LGBTQ Health Awareness Week, International Day of Pink, Day of Silence for Transbullying, Lesbian Visibility Week, Agender Pride Day, Harvey Milk Day, Pansexual and Panromantic Awareness Day, Stonewall Day, International LGBTQ Plus Day, International Non-Binary People Day, International Drag Day, Bisexual Awareness Week, Celebrate Bisexuality Day, International Lesbian Day, National Coming Out Day, Gender Fluid Visibility Week, International Pronoun Day, Spirit Day, Intersex Awareness Day, Intersex Day of Remembrance.
Just don't forget about Mental Health Awareness Month as well.
Okay.
And perhaps next up we should add a transgender athlete.
Okay, so Harvey Milk is or was an American politician and the first openly gay man to be elected to public office. Guess where?
California. Woo!
And guess what city? San Francisco.
Yeah, I was there.
Sorry.
Yep.
But so what's he famous for? He won the election to the San Francisco Board of Supervisors in 1977. Harvey Milk made history as the first openly gay, so he didn't really do anything other than being the first gay guy to be elected in California. Oh my God, that's so hard.
Yeah. That's
So
ridiculous.
there you go, that's who that is.
Day as well. Because as our next clip will show, transgender athletes are absolutely dominating women's sports right now.
These are what make me so mad, ladies and gentlemen.
He gets very inflamed.
Women, as Dr. Vaughton has said too, women do not need a reminder as to why they have their own division, and that no other
reason should exist.
Yeah, that anybody else should be in a women's only league.
I mean, I guess they have forgotten the huge divide. I mean, I had forgotten about the huge divide. I always thought that, it was like, maybe it was like 1/3.
Yeah.
Like, or 2/3 the strength of a dude, but it's like when you find out, like, even in hand strength, what was it I found the other day, that, like, the most elite of the girls, like, so they did 60 of the elite girls, and they were, like, they could only be at the bottom 10% of the weakest guys.
Exactly.
And we're talking about, like, testosterone up, steroided, don't have any more periods, barely women.
Yes.
And they're still getting crushed,
and there's still no chance for them.
Okay, like, shooting. Now I kind of even debate that because I thought, okay, well maybe we're on the level playing field with shooting like bows or shooting guns, but now it's like that men can see stuff this way better.
Yeah.
We see stuff this way better.
But women are a lot better like horse riders.
Yeah, because we see it.
And so like archery on horseback would be a woman's.
The partnership. See, that's the whole thing. See, God gave the women the beasts to take care of because we had to create that partnership. It was like, what do you think we did when we didn't have guns and rocks and things to throw at you? It's like we had our dogs to come after your asses if anything happened.
Yeah.
And horses to run away.
Yeah.
So it was like they were original equalizer. And when the cult came out, I think it was the cult. They called that the Great Equalizer, not the Colt horse, but the gun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
The equalizer, because they thought it was like, well, it takes 6 pounds of pressure to pull a trigger. I'm like, yeah, but can we aim as good?
Yeah.
I
don't know. I don't know what the statistics on.
And we can definitely find advantages. It's like we learn about pressure points, we learn how to conserve our energy. It's not like you're necessarily going to win a fight against one of us.
Yeah, no.
But pound for pound, fighting you like a guy, like they do with wrestling, there's a certain way they have to do it.
Exactly.
The submission hold, you're screwed.
Oh yeah, the pounds of pressure, for the sleeper lock or whatever.
It's ingrained in our DNA not to have a guy get us into that position.
Exactly.
And because we know if we get down to that position, we are done.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, so don't get there.
Yeah. And so to put trans, dudes, putting dudes in with women and girls.
Yes.
I can't believe that there hasn't been more of a problem.
I know.
Now, call me crazy, but that seemed like a pretty easy lift considering it was a new weightlifting record. But acceptance should be prioritized above all else, as this trans Pentagon official explains.
Oh my God.
All too often, I hear leaders talk about providing everyone with dignity and respect like it's an aspirational goal. That's not good enough. Dignity and respect is the bare minimum. It's the floor of where we can be. We must set our sights higher and focus on intentional inclusivity because there are still far too many people out there, not just LGBTQ individuals, that feel marginalized, shut out, or discriminated against. So for all of you out there, I ask you to set your symbols of pride, share your pronouns in your email, particularly if you're a person who doesn't think they need to. Initiate difficult conversations about racial and gender barriers and share a bit of your vulnerability in a way that draws others in. You all have the power to take intentionally inclusive actions to ensure the multiple perspectives that we know make us stronger as we devise winning warfighting strategies get heard.
And the biggest mystery to me will be how these wackos got to senior leadership positions so quickly in the first place. If anything, it's hard to feel patriotic listening to something like that. That being said, some folks on the left are anything but patriotic. This Seattle dance squad was kicked out of a stadium simply because their American flags made audience members feel unsafe.
A Seattle dance squad was kicked out of a dance convention because their American flag shirts made audience members feel triggered. At the Emerald City Hoedown in Seattle, the Borderline dance team, wearing American flag-themed shirts, was confronted by the event's organizer. They were told that their shirts were causing some attendees to feel triggered and unsafe. The team was given an ultimatum: get rid of the American flag shirts or leave. The dance team left.
Good.
The Seattle attendees felt triggered and unsafe over American flag shirts? Sure, because when I think of public menace, I think patriotic square dancers.
Now, I'd love to hear what you all think about folks like this who get triggered over seeing their own country's flag. And there's a lot more easily triggered people nowadays, like this news reporter who criticizes Jerry Seinfeld's show for having too many white males.
I've noticed that most of the guests are mostly white males of 22 episodes.
Yeah, let's get into that.
No,
but you take a look over here, Peter. What do you see? A lot of whiteys. What's going on here?
but
pisses me off. But go ahead. Really pisses me off. People think it's the census or something. I mean, this has got to represent the actual pie chart of America. Who cares? It's just funny. Funny is the world that I live in. You're funny, I'm interested. You're not funny, I'm not interested. And
two things. There's two things that are being remade. I know the first one's going to Frosty, and I think it's already out. So if I can find it. So he's talking about that because they're talking about like making everything like race inclusive and diverse.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, the way that Disney's going woke and all
Yeah.
that, right? So the first one. Let's see if I can remember what the.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember. And it just looks absolutely.
Okay, they have the.
Hideous.
So we've got Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which was already a remake, but in the remake the people were also Caucasian.
Yep.
And if you remember right, Angelina Jolie comes out and in that movie it says that her character's Jewish already.
Yeah.
So, there's already a little bit of stuff there, but look this is what you got. Yeah, this is the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We got a black dude and it appears to be an Asian lady.
Wow.
Okay, let me stress.
What a way to ruin a movie.
I'm trying to remember what the other one was. I'm losing it now. I had it a second ago. If I think of it, I'll let you know. But it's another one that they have made. It's almost there. I don't know. I'm thinking they made it. The whole cast is like black, and it was never that way to begin with. And I believe that the original,
I think I remember something about one like that, and I can't remember the name of it.
I bet you if I go to Netflix, I'll find it though, because they really like to change things. I have one of Netflix's adaptation of Anne Boleyn, and yep, she's black.
Cleopatra.
Cleopatra is black. There was another one just recently. Hercules.
Yeah. And it's like, ladies and gentlemen, freaking Disney. It's like, if you're gonna go catering to the minority, should have been the minority.
Yeah.
Catering to the woke, catering to all that, you are gonna lose out. And that's what a lot of these companies are now seeing, oh my god, this was not worth it. This was not worth doing it, but they're so stuck in it that they have to continue and press forward with it.
Yeah, it's, what is the saying? Once you go woke, you go broke.
Yep.
Yeah, but for some reason they're still pressing on with that.
Yeah. But there is one place that has not catered to that. And they started making good stuff, and that's the Daily Wire.
Right.
Haven't been able to watch it because you have to have a subscription to them.
Right.
But their stuff is supposed to be good, and we like a lot of their content creators too.
It's looking like it's good,
So.
Yeah, it's like more people need to start supporting stuff like that.
Yes,
yeah,
the Daily Wire should be supported.
It's really on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't remember what it was now. But yeah, I saw it on like one of the channels that we had the other day, and I'm like, that too? They did that too?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. Like, they've always had their own section of entertainment and stuff. They've had, like, media, and they have, I know that they have, I don't want to stereotype, but, it's like they have the BET, so it's like they've always kind of had a separate
Keenan and Kel.
Yeah. So, I don't understand what the problem is. I guess maybe because it wasn't mainstream media?
Maybe.
But, is that very important? That's just something you like.
Yeah, that's...
I have no interest in gender or race or anything like that, but everyone else is kind of with their little calculating, is this the exact right mix? I think that's, to me, it's anti-comedy.
Now, I, for one, love the fact that Jerry actually stood up for himself, even though he's a celebrity with lots to lose. Just compare that to the first clip we saw, where one of the girls immediately silenced her friend in fear of getting cancelled. You have to say the wokies have made a lot of ground in terms of brainwashing people, from getting them to believe reading and writing is a form of white supremacy, to thinking mathematics is somehow racist. It's all designed to make you second-guess your own thoughts and question everything that comes out your mouth. And the bright news is that people are slowly coming around to this realization. Last week, the Foundation for Individual Rights published findings from their yearly survey on free speech in the United States. They actually found that both liberals and conservatives were more concerned about the future of freedom of speech in the country compared to 5 years ago. There's a lot of stats in the original finding, but I'll just sum it up in a nutshell for you. Essentially, they recorded that almost half of conservative Americans felt, not at all, sure about the protection of their First Amendment rights. And even more surprisingly, over 3/4 of liberal Americans were not at all sure or unsure about the protection of their First Amendment rights, regardless of which president was elected next. We've all seen a lot of celebrities, politicians, corporations, even regular people face the repercussions of cancel culture. And it's time people stop thinking and acting like the girl from our first clip and take a page out of Jerry Seinfeld's book instead. So if you too feel that we need to stand up and fight for our right to free speech, make sure you like and share this video. And as always, thanks for supporting this channel, and I'll see you all next week.
So I might have time to preview like a couple of videos on this one. I can't remember which one it is.
What if I like wanted to become black? Could I do that?
I mean, no, because race is a set thing. Like, race isn't a construct, but gender is.
What I see is like they're both.
Let's see, that's 13 minutes.
But I was gonna say, no, you don't want to change it because I have everything set up in a particular way,
Yeah.
and those are longer. So, like I said, you can probably watch a couple videos here and then just continue it.
Okay.
I have to do something with your hands.
What?
I said I have to do something with your hands.
Yeah.
Things you're born with.
Well, I don't think that you're born with your gender. I think gender is what society sets on people.
What? So I could be like, you look like a boy?
Shoot, if you want to say that, you can.
Guys, I don't know if I can keep doing this, man. I really don't know if I can do it. Some of these people spend 20,000 on an education and they can't answer the most simple question a flipping 2-year-old could answer.
It seems to me that people can't seem to grasp the fact that I'm a lesbian.
First of all, you are a dude. But if you identify as a lesbian, it means you like girls. So you are not... I am very confused. So...
It's not confusing. It's simple. If you're a guy and you like women, you're straight. If you're a woman and you like guys, you're straight no matter which way you want to spin it. What?
What if you're a straight guy that only likes lesbian girls?
Yeah, it's still the same thing.
Like girls that are into other girls, you know?
It's still the same thing, just because you like what preference somebody has.
Yeah, I mean, you're still attracted to like the biology and shit, right?
Yeah. The biology's all there, and it's all the same still.
If a donkey want to be a camel, but he don't like the camel, he go like donkey. So, hey brother, I identify as a bank owner from now on.
Leave me alone. Don't worry, brother. We're all right there with you. We ain't got a flipping clue what any of this stuff means either. This video is literally me every day trying to find content for you guys. No idea what these people are talking about.
Are you gonna post this on Facebook, you weird?
Come on!
Come on, say whatever the I want.
Hey, did you damage his sign? I have it on video. No,
I can see that you guys have it on video. So what's gonna happen? With all respect.
So here's the damage. So are we pressing? Yes, yes. Destruction of private property.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
After good behavior, 6 months in community service, the judge will drop it.
I am a full-time student. I'm coming back here in the summertime.
Nope. Next time you'll think not to do it.
Dude, like, you can't find any, like, peace in your heart and understanding.
I will let...
This is insane.
No, what was insane is what you did for no reason.
What I'm saying is that your friend is in a bunny suit here. Outside of a liberal arts school inciting you.
I'm on a public street and a public sidewalk on a public street.
I don't understand this.
This is probably the third or fourth flag that's been damaged.
I'm putting my studies in my future, though. Don't you think it kind of gets in the way of like me growing and becoming as an individual?
Teachable moment.
What is a teachable moment?
This, right now.
What about your president that's literally getting indicted right now? What about that?
Oh, for what, the false charges? I'll tell you something.
I don't want to listen.
You can just tell that this girl's been in this situation before, and she's just tried to victimize herself and manipulate the situation to get out of it. But this guy won't have none of it. He saw right through it and he was like, nah, I'm pressing charges. And she ain't used to that. She's used to getting away with anything and everything, I'm sure.
Well, here's giving me a hard time here at Dollar General.
All right,
doesn't want to leave because their card is declined because
My card did not decline. It did not say insufficient funds. What did it say, ma'am? Did my card say insufficient funds, or did it say that your system's not working? No, I'm serious, because this isn't cool.
Is it okay if I check out?
Anyway, this is not. It did not say insufficient funds, sir. What did it say? It said no checking account. What does that mean? It did not say insufficient funds. We're going back to your transphobia. What did you say to me, sir? You giving me a hard time here before at this place. What did you say to me? Keep filming. It's gonna be on here. You cussed at me. You said you. You're gonna lose your job, sir. Have a good one.
Flipping hell, boys. Jack Black is having a midlife crisis. Declined at the Dollar General is diabolical. If my card declined at Dollar General, I'd just run out of the store embarrassed.
I'm out of here.
So in this next clip, you know those weird books they'd be putting in schools? I think we all know the ones I'm talking about.
Yep.
The ones that are meant for adults, not kids. So this young man approached the school board, and this is what he had to say about it.
I didn't use all my 3 minutes for my first comment. So I would just like to say that
it's one. I'm sorry. It's one. You have one chance in your 3 minutes.
What do you want to say? I just want to say that if you, as a student, were to Google any of these things,
Jacob Bennick, if this is Google on our Chromebooks, typed on our Chromebooks, searched on our Chromebooks, it's immediately flagged. You block us from consuming this content on our Chromebooks because it's not something children should be consuming in a school environment, or frankly at all. But then you leave it available to us in our libraries for students to freely read. That's a double standard that I don't think should be in schools. None of this should be in our schools, and we're not gaining any educational learning. There's no educational value to any of this in our libraries. I think you guys understand that. This should not be in our libraries. This should not be available to students.
Well said, man. And the girl who actually wanted to say this, she was a bit nervous, and the school board just wouldn't allow her to say what she was going to say. They said, no, you had one chance and you blew it. They knew what she was going to say, they just don't want to hear it. So that man stepped up to the plate and said what we all would want to say. We need more people like him in school, man.
Are you saying that men should not be allowed to have Barbie dolls?
I did not say that whatsoever, but I'm saying there's certain character attributes and traits of how young men should be raised and how young ladies should be raised.
You are defining that women should be raised in one way and men should be raised in another.
Without a shadow of a doubt, yes. Men and women have biological differences.
Because of the way that they were raised.
No, men are better at some things than women, and women are better at some things than men. Lifting heavy objects. Women are better caretakers and nurturers. Women are more organized. Women mature earlier. You look around.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
That men are usually stronger physically than women. That is true. Naturally better. I'm not saying better. I'm not saying one sex or gender is better than the other. They're different.
I can see your point. I can see that men do have more testosterone.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm saying. So there's differences.
Yes, but
The lights are on, but nobody's home. She looks knackered. I think she needs to chill out from all this stuff. It looks like it's really draining her. And that's probably the first time she's ever heard the truth and she ain't got an answer for it. It's crazy. In 2024, if you say what a man and a woman is on a scientific basis, one side will call you delusional and the other side will call you an intellectual. How crazy is that?
If a conservative doesn't like a gun, they just don't buy it. If a liberal doesn't like guns, they want to outlaw them for everyone. If a conservative is a vegan, they don't eat meat. If a liberal is a vegetarian or vegan, they want to ban meat products for everyone. I found if a conservative is gay, they live their life and respect other people's choices. If a liberal is gay, they demand respect, even if it has to be legislated. If a conservative is down and out on their situation, they think about, how can I improve? How can I better where I'm at? I'm Misty. If a liberal is down and out, they want someone to take care of them. It's everybody else's fault. If a conservative doesn't like a talk show, a TikTok, they simply switch channels or swipe up. A liberal, they're going to demand that video be removed, that talk show be canceled.
These ain't opinions. These are facts.
There's another tweet that said, the Democratic Party is comprised of racist white liberals.
That is correct.
Am I a racist white liberal?
Well, let's go back. And let's say, I will say this, that many people in the party are not aware of their own racism. Let's go back to an early part of this conversation where you said to me, are you concerned about the color in the White House? Why would you ask me that question?
Because you speak about black issues.
No, but
why
would you ask me? But let's get to really the nucleus of this. Why did you ask me that question today?
Because
why did you feel that I needed to be concerned about that?
Because you're bringing a whole group of young African American leaders to the White House.
Okay, so this is something that I talk about often, is that in many ways the white liberals don't realize that you put on that the racism and the conversations that we have.
So you're saying I'm a racist?
You haven't let me finish my statement. You keep cutting me off.
Go ahead.
Okay. The emphasis that you place is always on having a discussion about race. Okay. You guys are insistent on having a conversation about race and telling us that we should see and implying that we should see race everywhere, and I don't agree with that. If you don't look at me according to the color of my skin, you would simply ask me how I thought that Trump was doing as a president. But instead, you try to drum up a conversation that's surrounded by race.
Fatality.
You can just tell, looking and listening to the interviewer, that she has an agenda in those eyes. Candace is too smart for these people. She's calm, collected, intelligent, all the things. And these people don't have a leg to stand on when they're in an argument against her. And I bet that interviewer went home and cried herself to sleep watching Netflix and cuddling her 2 cats.
Just curious,
Yes, tell me.
Like some organization or something? This for attention.
Yes, we're with the President of the United States. Joe Biden hired me himself.
I don't believe you.
He put me up to it. If you want, just send him a letter, get a petition signed, tell me to stop.
No. Feminist or smell. Alright, I mean...
I got some...
Pretty sure everyone's a little smelly, dude.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you smell really.
Yeah, but they're a little over the top, wouldn't you say?
How old are you? I'm just curious.
Does it matter?
Yeah, it kind of does.
Why?
I'm just curious.
How old do you think I am?
Are you a minor?
You guys are scaring me.
Good.
I'm sorry.
But I do have some deodorant.
This is intimidating.
If y'all need some deodorant, I got you.
Where is it?
Yeah, I'd like to see it. Yeah,
Go
get it.
You actually want some?
Yeah, get it.
So you're saying this
I'll put it
message is
on right
correct?
now.
You saying this message is true?
We're not saying it's accurate because everyone's smelly if you're putting it that way. I asked him to show us the deodorant. I would love to
So
apply
your
some.
situation is a high conflict personality?
How much were you neglected?
Are you Jordan Peterson?
You know what a high conflict personality is?
Are you a psychologist?
I'm educated.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
What school did you go to?
It doesn't matter what school I went to. First of all, you've got dry spit on the side of your mouth, so you need to go ahead and clean that right now.
Do I?
Yeah, you look.
I don't know how to clean it. Can you clean it for me?
I don't doubt. Oh, so that's what you do. Never mind. That's your shtick.
Wait, can you clean it for me or no?
My hands on him, no.
No, I was just
Very sad.
Can you clean it for me? Wait, miss, you like the flip side.
And you know that's like an ignorant way to stand, right? Like
Why?
you're over here. I tell you.
I'm actually half handicapped, so that's very offensive that you said that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I can probably tell
I'm
that
super
you're-
offended actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lying and being a high conflict is part of your personality disorder. Why are you looking at women with your fucking eyes?
Are you a woman?
Oh my god, so you...
Oh, I didn't even know. I'm sorry.
non-binary, so it doesn't really matter.
That's why I asked. I was trying to be polite. That's what you should do, right?
I'm drinking milk, you young motherfucker.
I love breast milk. It's very nutritious. Breast milk for life. Your hair's not even purple, it's green. Yeah.
Are you colorblind?
Yeah, maybe I am. Are you gonna make fun of me now?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, you already made fun of me for being handicapped.
I did not.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Why don't you just assume my gender?
Got him. We fucking got him.
This video is hilarious because he's just using their logic against them. And some of these people claim to be self-love, love everyone, but they can't handle someone else's opinion or views. And he was just throwing that fuel on the fire, like I say, just using their own logic against them. It's always funny to watch. Alright guys, let's end on a good note, shall we? Today's daily quote is, "A man cannot live his full potential when next to him is a woman who disrespects, nags, and has no trust in him." I really like this quote because I've been in this situation myself in the past, and I know a lot of you guys have reached out to me, and some of your dreams sound amazing. Whatever your goals are, whoever you are watching, whatever your goals are, your dreams are, I really hope there's a woman beside you who is supporting you, and it's a team dream. Because I can say with certainty that I would not be where I am right now without my wife. 1,000,000%. From where we started to where we are now, I wouldn't have been able to do this without her support. And I really hope all you guys can experience the same thing. Have a blessed day, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Picture montage, huh?
It's long, I think. I think this actually is. No, I don't know if this is long or not. It is.
No, it's 11 minutes.
But I'll try to save it for next week.
Yeah, we'll get into all these again.
Yeah, both of the next ones are like woke theology, so we'll just focus it on that.
Okay, that sounds good for next week, ladies and gentlemen. Remember Friday? Do we know what?
I don't know what the sin is going to be. You wanted to do something to do with the protests or riots or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll see if I can squeeze those into something, maybe wrath or something.
Sounds good.
Based on, how they're wearing these red hands and stuff, not knowing what it means and everything. So maybe wrath or... I don't know.
We'll see.
I'll figure it out.
And we'll try to post sooner, but, and when we get more photos of our baby, we'll show them too.
Yep.
As we go on, so... Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, like and subscribe if you haven't already. We looked recently at my statistics.
Oh, yeah.
And what was it? It was...
90%?
90% are not subscribed, right?
Yeah. 90%.
So, you all know who you are out there. Subscribe.
It helps a lot.
It does. It gets the message out even further. That's what we're here to do, so... Ladies and gentlemen, namaste. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you Friday.
Good night.
Good night.